when she would wear like maybe like a black jacket with multiple different buttons, pink, green, yellow, orange, and then her hair is like going that way, and then her shoes are like. I got to understand when she's like this, her mood is like this. When she's like that, her mood is like that. So I got to understand her on such a higher, different level. You see her Instagram captions and the way she writes, even her book, the way she writes. Yeah. You will not get that story from her mouth. It's very difficult.
Were there new things for you in there?
Yes.
Really?
In the book?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were new things in there for me. I didn't know how my mother was like towards her most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's those things that you guys do on your own when you're a woman in the kitchen chopping carrots, and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying?
And it feels so good.
Welcome to another episode of Bedtime, the podcast. And today you have me fangirling like crazy. This is a couple that I feel like I know, even though I don't know, but I've been watching closely from afar. I hope details of our chat do not expose how much of a stalker I am, but that's how it goes when one thinks about more love. I guess now we're cozying up in the bedroom, ready to talk about love. And for me, you guys represent the OGs of Black love. Not only Black love, but in people who look like me, speak like me, that love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys ever think about your story as some level of like advocacy for everything that we are trying to aspire to?
No. Yes. Yes, at times, definitely. I think that, a lot of people aspire to understanding the secret of keeping it together.
Yeah.
Especially when all eyes are on you on the world, Yeah. It becomes so difficult when your life is only like 10% private. It's only private when you close that bathroom door.
Yeah. And when you put your PIN number.
When you put your PIN number. Otherwise, everything is out there, man. So I think that our relationship definitely is quite aspirational.
Well, it's certainly been for me for many years.
Thank you.
And I do want to, number one, commend that. The active choice to want to be together and the agency to stay together if you want to, despite what every other person, what that don't know a lot. But more than that, like just move to like Lona Hali Utla like intimacy. What is your understanding of that term?
Intimacy. It's not just being together. It's not just being in a relationship, For me, it's emotional connection.
Yes,
it's physical connection, spiritual connection. It's having that mentally understanding, it's not just sexual, it's more, there's more to it than just being in someone's life.
The connection that you can't define.
You can't define it to a point where even when you are going through a storm, that bond that you have created amongst yourselves plays a role even in that storm. You understand? So it's like for me, intimacy is so deep. You only understand it, I guess, once you're really
I'm
in
a guy.
it.
I just thought intimacy is just like being intimate in bed.
I
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people honor me, I'm new in this thing, I'm inviting you, come, let's talk. My publicist doesn't think this is aligning with my brand. I'm like, I hope people don't think I'm talking about sex when I mean intimacy. Because there's so much under the umbrella of, and sex is just one thing,
For me, intimacy is like being able to share space with my person and still being able to do my own thing while she does her own thing. It's like we acknowledge each other's presence, like we're there with each other and she can pop into my world, I pop into her world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not always just like spending all the time. Intimacy is not like, intimacy is also a little bit of distance.
Hey now, that's
You
a new one.
understand?
I haven't thought about that, but yes.
Yes, intimacy also is a little bit of distance because when you miss someone and you long them and you can, when you communicate with them from that place of wherever you are, it's like you can feel that I'm with this person. We're deep. We're
That
connected.
emotional connection.
You know when someone can arouse just by talking to them on the phone. And you know this person that I've been with Mome for like many years. That's 14. How many years? 14 years now.
15, I think.
Yeah. And I believe that we're so intimate in such a way that she can be comfortable with her sexuality and I can be comfortable with mine. And still, when we link up, it becomes an explosion.
The distance, I guess this is what they mean about absence makes the heart grow fonder. Because you look forward to the next intimate moment, but it doesn't mean there's like a grave distance between you as a couple. Now, talk to me about it over time, because you are specifically here over busy, guys. Abanye bayasilahla, bayasishada, bayenzani. Nina, you are holding it on. And for me, it's that part where I feel like if more couples went and bottled and sold that, because it looks different for different people. Some people, they'll say, for me, it's my grounding. I'm staying here. But some people's like, you know, for different. So for you guys, what is that thing that you feel like, okay, let's bottle it and mass produce it. This is our thing.
Wow. Can you put 36 of them in a bottle? Because it's like a tomato sauce, this thing. It's not just one tomato, it takes 36
It is the
to make one bottle of tomato sauce.
It is the Mo Love sauce.
Yes.
And I don't want people to lie to you. They do look up to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What would you say goes into that bottle of tomato sauce, babe?
I think, I would say firstly, it's honesty. I think with us, our love has reached the point of understanding that honesty is what makes love even more comfortable, you know, because I don't have to worry about things that I don't know that you are not telling me, you know. Nothing has to strain me because I'm the person that when you look at, you can't lie to me. When I look at you,
You've got that stay. Yeah.
like you can't lie to me, you know? So for me, honesty is the first thing because
it's the first tomato in the bottle.
Yeah. Should anything happen, I also have a leg to stand on, knowing that this person is honest. So why would I doubt anything or whatever? Like it plays a role, you know? It plays a role.
It does.
And also, it helps. Like for us, like it helps to a point that even when I'm not okay, I don't have the fear of being judged.
Nice.
You know, I can be honest in my marriage because I don't have the fear of being judged with anything, like with whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing. It's like creating that safe space for yourselves as a couple is giving each other that room of do say anything, I will not judge you.
Yeah, kissing.
And you don't have to say to me, I don't have to say, I will not judge you.
Yeah.
You should know already because we are in this
Yeah.
together and you know how we operate, you know, and you know that my partner is not someone that I have to explain myself 10 times or 100 times. You just know that this is what builds or makes this tomato sauce, like Mo said, you know?
Yeah.
And on top of that, obviously there's 36, but I can't put all of them together.
Yeah, it would be a difficult one to put all the ingredients.
And also understanding that love is patience. Ne?
It's endurance.
And to have unconditional love, it's not something you wake up and you plan. No, it grows. It's like fine wine. It matures. For it to become that, it grows with time. Remember, even when we met, we were still young. A lot has changed about us. You know, some people, when their partners start to change, you don't find interest in understanding what's making them change. Or if from the beginning you've understood this person, when you see the changes, you're like, no, that's him. That's what they were gonna do. That's him. You understand? Because why?
Crazy, no?
Because you have put in your relationship. Like my son and my daughter always says, like, I'm a very present mother, I'm a present wife, I'm a present sister, I'm that person, you know, I listen and I don't just listen, but what I hear and the character, right, helps me to get along with the person. You understand? Because I take what you're saying. If you are wrong, I'll tell you wrong. If you are right, you are right. But I don't take away your being because of that.
You honor the character.
I
of
honor the
person.
character.
Yes.
You understand? I work with the character,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Hence, I always say that we don't marry looks because they fade with time. We marry the character, someone that you can go through life with, a character that you can even share streetwise too with, even though you both know you've got millions in your account. It doesn't bother them
Exactly.
because you understand the character.
And I'm gonna give you this flower right now. I believe your character because knew you as one person, like, well, no in inverted commas, you know, the fashionista, all-round cool girl, you know, and you've never not been that. And more than that, you are valuing honesty right now. And for me, I've lived off your captions on Instagram. That's how I feel like I'm mutu or real. For me, they can't take that away from you. How we see Instagram? It was every day.
Yes.
And that's what I gravitate towards because, yes, you are saying now, obviously, how since because that's human.
Yeah.
Being able to make the mistake. And for me, in a relationship, that's intimacy. Run towards you, and instead of
Exactly.
Yeah.
you understand, because somebody will hear about it, and then there's a third person in our intimate space. Yes, when we understand marriage like that. So that's what I'm saying, Hore. I'm honoring your character because what you're saying, I've seen from, you know, just following your profile. I don't profess to know a lot about you, but and I want now for you to talk about if, let's say, you know, your daughters were to ask you specifically about, okay, what makes a good partner in a relationship more than approachable? What other things does the partner give? Because honesty and safe space, you are giving. But what else do you need to give? And what do you need to get for you to know what I'm talking about? Solid. Solid.
Wow.
I'll say, okay, in terms of
Giving?
One, for me, giving, number one, for me, because I value mental health in a relationship. Because remember, relationship is two ships from different spaces trying to relate to become one ship. So this relationship, for it to relate, both these ships must always be on
the water.
Yeah. And flow the same direction, you know, so that it's a relationship. These two things are trying to relate from two different worlds, raised by two different women, raised in, you know, different ways, trying to become one thing that will sail the same direction and not allow anything to come in between, right? So first for me, it's the investment first is to be able to understand the person you are with, right? And as I was referring to honesty, honesty helps because we're also able to talk about experiences that we had before we met you. You understand? And in our Black culture, we tend to not want to focus on things that kind of traumatized us or whatever, right?
Yes.
But in your safe space, those things you are able to talk about.
And it matters so much.
Yeah.
It matters so much because certain things that your character might show in this ship, I must not wonder where they come from.
Exactly.
I must be able to say, damn, you once told me your uncle did da-da-da-da-da. Ne? Now we are at this age and I'm seeing da-da-da-da. My husband will tell you, now I will tell you. Even if you do a certain erratic behavior, I will get time and I will tell you. You understand? So that communication, it's very important because you are both investing in this sheep. You are together in it, and you both want it to flow. So keeping things away from your partner, and it might even go under the water. The smallest thing that you think I don't deserve to know.
Yeah.
You know? I remember like my husband and I, when we first met, when we started dating, we were on BBM. I don't know. BBM chat.
60 rand, that one.
BB.
Yes.
No, it's not WhatsApp. The whole night I felt like data. It's not operator that thing. So on that, we started chatting a lot and we enjoyed chatting. I think because Habu, you know, like he's crazy. He'll be saying all these crazy things. And I will respond subtle like that. But to him, it's like I responded, you know, and that's enough. And I'll let him go on. And we'll start talking about ourselves as kids, what and stuff like that. And then we started dating. I remember in our second year of dating, I started understanding the person that my husband is before we got married. Because I enjoyed having these childhood conversations with him. Like, I know how naughty he was. Like, you know, to a point where I even got to speak to his uncle, to speak to his grandmother, like understanding the person that he is.
You were interested.
You understand? In a way that there is nothing you can tell me about more than I can't tell you. Even things that he doesn't know that his family has told me. You know?
Which is, let's talk about this.
The fact that you put you put black polish on VJ while he was going to church in white clothes.
Oh, okay, no man. Besidlala.
You see?
Besidlala. Ubani utshela le story lesana?
I think it was brand new on your mom.
I've got this other cousin of mine, you know, he used to do everything I do. So sometimes, you know, I just feel like if him and I were wearing the same clothes, been feeling like you know, they're putting me in a box.
At this rate, we all feel like VJ is our cousin.
Yeah, because VJ is special. Then when I son of VJ, I was starting to question myself, what Namnya fan of VJ now? Are we the same people, you know? But then that's when I realized with them, like, if I make our clothes dirty, me and VJ don't have to match to go to the zoo. So I decided, like, VJ, what's up? Okay, I'm coming. So move on. Go like a polish. Then we had to change clothes. I went to the zoo and I was matching.
Really laughing. You're even laughing. This guy, bro.
You know, but do you ever get the non-comedic side of him exclusively for you? Because I don't know if anybody else has a serious conversation. Does it happen?
It has to.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here if we were all playing. If we were all playing, then we wouldn't be here.
Inside of the humor, there's a lot of business being done.
Yes,
a lot
of business, a lot of talking.
Yeah.
I think that Mome is the first person I was ever in a relationship with that I could like really be serious. That I could learn how to be serious. You know. And yes, I can be quirky at times, but then Mome kind of brings me back to my reality of things. Yo, Mo, don't forget, you're a human being. You are real. You're gonna get tired. You need to rest. You need to, you know. So she kind of, she really does know me very well. She knows me. She knows. Sometimes I feel like she knows me more than I know myself. And at times when I went through a very deep depressive state, you know, and it's so difficult to be in a relationship when you are depressed, you know. Because the next person has to carry that weight for you. Because depression is not something that you would go through just by yourself. Everyone around you is affected by you being depressed. You know, I even saw with my daughter, you know, with my last born, she always tries to make me smile or to make me laugh. All the time, she will try her best to make me smile or to make me laugh because she could see that, you know, it's been a long time I've not seen my dad smile. I've not seen him laugh, you know. So my family kind of understands and knows the other side of me that is sensitive, that is, how can I say, that is healing, that other side of me that is fearful, the other side of me that is confused, you know, and with all of those things together they become experiences. And those experiences, when I look back at them and I speak about them on stage, they're funny to everybody because we can all relate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Humanness is universal. That's why for me, wellness and intimacy are universal. Part of the reason why, because I wanted to talk to people I find interesting because I knew that their take on intimacy is going to be just as interesting.
Yeah.
Because when you find them, they are good outside, well presented, and then you want to have an authentic conversation with them, and the can is empty in terms of if they've taken the time to be intimate with self, because that is what I read from Mome's posts when she's talking about how I have to give this to my daughter, or I have to say this in this way, because I know that my responsibility is to leave her whole if I'm no longer there.
Yes.
And those are, I think, from generation number 80s who were raised by our parents with trauma ya bona, fine, but we're trying very hard not to re-traumatize.
Yes.
So how could work at that thing about him? Because what is the love that she can give to you at her level? It's the smile. I can contribute something. I've got a part to play here, and for me, it's tickling this person.
Yes.
Because we're a family, we're a unit, and how we are at our best, and that's when I can see his teeth.
True.
Him playing in a playful manner.
True.
Because she's got a bank of that.
Yeah. We've been through so much in our relationship, Mome and I, like really, 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 we've shared every single important moment of our lives in front of the camera.
Sure.
And even being in front of the camera, to keep that sense of being genuine, the genuineness is so important, because this thing can make you change who you are. Because when you think that abantu bangibone
because the world knows you must be perfect.
Yeah, you must be perfect. They can't see me cry. They can't see me being frustrated. They can't see me angry. And
it's like a mask.
It's like a mask. And for me, I don't see it. I just live my life vicariously, bro. I just straight up, this is who I am. This is what you are gonna get. Mangikwatile, nizobona ukuthi ngikwatile. Mangijabulile, you see that I'm happy. If I'm confused, you see I'm confused. I'm very much just like that.
Have you always been like that, or have you now been responding to be like that because you are calling your humaneness? Because Mau in the public eye, you're made of plastic, man.
I've got feelings, Joe.
Yes.
I don't want to lie. I've got feelings, and I break inside.
I think when we met, right, around that time, I was still doing cream cattle. And
even the OG version.
The OG version of cream cattle.
My
premium that was it for me. That's the part.
Mome was the craziest, bro. I think I fell in love with her because she was just herself. She's just herself at all times.
Individualism, authenticity.
That's why I always say that if I were to change, trust me, South Africa will tell me. If I become an Instagram girl, South Africa has the right to tell me. It's been almost 18 years of this journey, and it's ups and downs and stuff. And
I've never hung on to a look for as long as I did with that one. Oh my goodness! And it's how the slightly bleeds, because a little bit. How to myself?
I remember that skirt. With the
colors. Oh yes. Mome is extremely bright and colorful. That's the one thing I also learned how to read off my wife. I was able to tell how does she feel based on how she's dressed. Because Mome never used to speak that much. Like only as now. You still don't, but now you actually speak more than you used to before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though that Mome was like an outgoing person, she's got lots of friends. Most of her friends were guys, and she was out there. Her colors, her hair would make you think mutoa papa, but nix. Mome papi, bruh. Yimeng papai. You understand? And when she when she would wear a black jacket with multiple different buttons, pink, green, yellow, orange, and then her hair is like going that way, and then her shoes are like. I got to understand when she's like this, her mood is like this. When she's like that, her mood is like that. So I got to understand her on such a higher, different level, And now she's...
It's that maturing with a person.
Yeah, now that we're maturing, it's like she's more open to talk to me. You remember some of the things that Mome and I will speak about on text, right? and not speak about in person.
I've gone through that as well. I know. And you're like, okay, this is a very deep part of me, and they come from a different background. I don't know how it's going to be received. To save myself from the expression, because sometimes I sort of but they're human as well. They're going to react a certain way to new or strange or different information, and that can be a blockage because next time I'll say, because you're like, you know, and at that time you're like, okay, I'm going to follow the text, and then following the text, and then it'll be easier.
Yeah, because I know my wife is a writer.
Yes.
Mom is a writer. You see her Instagram captions and the way she writes, even her book, the way she writes.
Yeah.
You will not get that story from her mouth. It's very difficult.
But there are new things for you in there.
Yes.
Really?
In the book?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were new things in there for me. I didn't know how my mother was like towards her most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's those things that you guys do on your own when you're a woman in the kitchen chopping carrots, and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying?
And that time we're absorber because look at our believer, the standard is keep him high, so I must aspire to that. How I'm gonna keep him.
No, but Mome tells me straight up, I'm not your mother. I'm not gonna aspire to be that for you.
Also, but I have to tell him.
Exactly.
She sent me that message just the other week because
about food.
Hey, Mome, but when you
I don't talk, but I can write.
You know how she defended herself from cooking. She even spoke about her not being obese. She not be obese. Because she doesn't like cooking food.
I don't.
Yung into bilis,
Guys, the healthiest meals are boiled.
What if we put how could you smelling your spice or spice in the air?
I don't feel like any spice. Not good for you.
Steam.
I'm 40 something, I don't have high blood. I get a high blood in Chebeng.
You
40.
What you come somebody?
I get a problem.
I can't.
Oh, wow.
So her and I, like, when it comes to those kind of things, like, you know, it's
like I get irritated because he is a cook, right? Like it's his thing, right? So number one,
from my mom, and you said that you're not my mom.
Yeah, I'm not your mom. Yeah, like
this woman, the first day she met me, first time.
Then I reminded him what I cooked for him. I said to him, you know what? This thing of you always judging my food and telling me how to cook and shit, it's irritating me to the point.
Yeah.
Understand here, I'm not your mother. I'm not going to cook like your mother, okay? And another thing, I'm not a foodie. I'm not going to force my kids to like food. And then I must be cooking food all the time, talking to my kids about food. I don't want my kids to love food. But I cook healthy. They growing. They very intelligent because they don't eat food that blocks their brains, oily nonsense and all that sugary stuff, right? So this is me now saying I want to cut this generational curse of a woman can't cook. Okay, my woman reason why I can't cook. I don't love food. I know I can eat healthy. I know how to make healthy food. That's why I'm a 40-year-old looking like this. I eat healthy.
Okay, but where the hair because busy why won't I fry? Or cook. make the
I do cook, trust you me.
And then
trust
what did you
cook?
And I even make a joke sometimes and I tell my kids, guys, mommy's cooking next week, and you must hear all of them say, oh Dad, no! Please, Dad, what did we do? I'm like, yeah, your mother's cooking next week. Bye guys.
They eat my food, guys. They are very intelligent. And after eating anything I cook, they don't sleep. I cook to maintain those type of children. We're not gonna show you
vigilant, alert.
We were about to tell them the first meal you made for me. The first meal Mome made for me. I remember.
You mentioned I didn't invite you.
Yeah, I know you didn't invite me, baby. But then at the end of the day,
so everything you must check, because people don't understand.
You said you're gonna make breakfast. Okay, fine. She's making breakfast. She's in the kitchen. I can't hear nothing. Aguna sound of mfraisho, you understand, or something.
Why is the problem, guys?
Then,
no, South Africa not one thing. Problem here, you just want to fresh, so come on, shaving.
Mamela, the only thing I heard when Mome was done in the kitchen, I heard quing. Well, understand? Quing, quing a micro oven. Well, understand? And it doesn't even those micro ovens that have got a digital timer. Yeah, beep, 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 beep. No, it's
15 years old.
Time. Hey man, I only smelled toast.
Yeah, microwave
That's the only thing. That's the only thing you prepared like properly was toast. My toast, my fish finger, but where did you cook this thing? My microwave eggs, microwave fish fingers, and the only thing that was live, begui toast. I ate that breakfast. I don't know how I came back.
Location.
I had to remind him the other day.
Yes.
I had to remind him last week, and I said, "Why did you come back after eating my food, knowing that's how I cook?"
I decided that I'm gonna cook for you from that day forth.
It can only be love.
Yeah.
Because I'm having a transparent moment. I also have an healthy relationship with food because my mom left to college. And then she worked go FedEx. I remember FedEx canteen go Unilever. Oslo. Boxburg actually. And then had to a taxi. Bona plastic it's very. I can say what no jam I share in onkile makoko. Re lobster. Why it's a lobster?
Yes, man.
Na ibisa junk crab.
Yeah.
So I'm like, even now, when somebody wants to dine me like seafood, whatever, please, man, I've been having it. Because my grand, the plastic there, the container, the container we would eat. Do you understand? We would eat. I don't know what it tastes like. Dag wood. I was like, oh, so this thing is called a dag wood.
Oh my
She
God.
would come with it. Imagine in the township. So now, because she's late, when I feel like I need love around me, or when I go guy, my husband like, God. And he knows.
That's my
He's saying a manufacturer. Not in this
thing.
area code. Because you're not gonna get it.
Yes.
You understand? Because for me, that week of the month or when chips are down, it's the one thing that'll give me the hug my grandmother represents in my life.
Yeah.
So when I'm sad, you will see me by Frijiak. Yeah.
Your
So I'm
food,
like that.
your
So
food
everybody in the house
up.
has learned to read.
What did you say?
that.
You said when you are sad.
Yeah. When I'm sad, I need a hug. Or even when celebratory. I don't want to celebrate Gija, cherry,
So what in the
tomato.
fridge?
Yes.
I
Even when
am a veg.
and I have to tell you, Hore, I understand where it's emotional and it's all those things that have happened. So when things are going well, okay, she stacked up salads, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, they'll be order.
Yes.
You understand? So I've come to be in that place, but I also need their support because like if you can think about 5 boys and their dad and their food-loving mom.
Oh my God.
Get up ahead, and that's what we bond over. So this food discussion actually goes deep for Black people.
Yeah,
and
it does.
That's what I'm saying. That time maybe it's just been a damn bad day.
So Kitubili
It's so-
Me, my love
You know
language.
when-
My love language is cooking food.
Yeah.
I honestly show my family how much I care about them, how much I love them, how much they mean to me when I make
Same.
every meal
Same.
something.
Same.
Even if there's nothing in it, like even if it's the
Yeah.
last thing that's remaining, like there'll be just a packet of pasta or
Yeah.
tin fish like that lucky star tin fish
One of my
there.
favorite meals.
Shine on ibe gourmet something. You even like my son doesn't like tin
You
stuff.
actually cooked a lot in the reality TV. That I remember.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you know what? And
Yeah.
it's okay because you know what? It's the yin and yang balance
Yes.
between me and my wife.
Yes.
I think I would have had a problem if my wife was also just as much as a cook as me, because
yeah.
now we'd have this unnecessary competition in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it's good to take lessons from the master. I'm not just saying J because mangati fraisha lento le ungayibhilisi.
What does the Bible say about food again?
No.
What does the Bible say about food again?
Please do tell us.
You mustn't be gluttonous with food. That's what they say about the Bible says don't be gluttonous.
That's why we like one base of distance now. Not to every day that you indulgence or whatever.
So it's okay. You don't have to indulge in food every day.
Yeah. No,
That's-
but it's okay. my baby.
I have to say, living with someone, I hear both points as well because my husband's a marathon runner. Like, with a company that we ate. And you will not get anything past his mouth that's processed, especially when it's leading towards now. It's in 2 weeks' time. Well, a week and a half's time, comrades. And yeah, you must just give him cooked food. And as basic, as simple as bohobe,
Basic.
and
Not
his
too
chicken
much
with
spices, not too much
tomato.
things.
That's it. You can even onion is optional. Just and that's it because he's like that for him is the superpower. Well, limroch. But then I start getting looks from the kids. No, can leave the meat out. No, I don't. Because you understand. And you know, I also went through a phase where I was like only like trying to get them to eat more veggies because I was noticing already this thing whatever, it's linked to the doctor's bill.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, now we're gonna. Did I not give them lentils and you know? No, and I got comments like, no, these circle peanuts on my plate, I don't think they're my favorite. You know, like, so you get that, and after that, you've put in the love. You're like, okay, there's something from the brown family, green family. So, but I interchange now.
Okay.
But back then, it's like, okay, no more. And then eventually I learned, okay, we found our sweet spot now. You know, we've got one who's aspiring cooking, but I balance up because with 7 personalities in the house, can you imagine?
That is crazy.
You know, can you imagine? Who else?
5 boys.
Yes.
Like, we should like
Oh,
every
yeah,
second week.
I've 20,000
I've got one
crores.
boy,
Yes,
Marianne.
he eats the bread.
I don't
Gone.
know what it is with them and bread. Like,
Yes.
is
So
there
how-
It's
anything
like
else you can
half
eat?
of the bread.
So how did the broto in this house? You mean 3 loaves?
bread.
3
Oh,
loaves.
I told.
Yes.
You say I was telling you guys the other day
Yes.
that 2 loaves is not enough.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And
But
that's
she's
for
got
them to
5
do what
boys.
they can with
Yeah.
sandwiches or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
that's for them. That's easier for lifestyle.
Yes.
But yeah,
Then
that
you
is
cook.
a huge integral part of the family because it's where we gather, hear about their day and things like
yeah,
that. So
yeah.
you don't want somebody urutimo aji because we're not getting the circle peanuts and then problem.
No, circle peanuts another one.
With me right now, right? With me, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
It has always been about health.
Yeah.
Wellness.
Yeah,
ne?
true.
Ever since Mofa and me, like ever since we met,
Yeah.
You were healthy.
I was jogging.
You were chilling.
I was jogging.
I used to call it standardized.
Yeah.
I grew up.
With the lycra, like why can I do flashback? There was the black thing that came like that, and then the socks with the colors as well.
Oh.
I must find those pictures, you know.
Nike thing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I remember that lycra,
yeah.
the 80s lycra. I
Yes,
remember that.
yes.
She would rock a lot of
And I
those.
like vintage.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the thrift stuff as well. Mama used to love thrifting as well, like
A
finding
lot.
unique pieces
And I
that
lived in
no one else has
Melbourne.
got. Yeah.
Especially when you live in Melbourne.
No, fashion, I think Mome taught me. I think that she
You
taught
can't
me
think.
fashion. No, not I think. Okay, you taught me fashion.
Yeah, you must know.
Even now, I'm dressed by Mome as you
I'm
see
not
me
a
right now.
comedian.
Yeah.
You know, I think that she kind of made me stick out amongst my colleagues, you know, because every time I do a show, like
Yeah.
it would be like an outfit, like I'll dress
Yeah.
up for that show, you know, and she'd
Because
make
all
me
comedians
feel
can't
like I'm
dress in
alive.
black.
Yeah,
All
she'd make
comedians
me
can't
feel
dress
alive.
black.
Like she'd make
Yeah.
me feel like, you know, and everybody where I go, they'll notice me. Even my haircut was different. And you know, every time my sneakers, you know, she's the one that put me on fashion. I do not know how to dress. When I met Mome, the one thing I used to love wearing all the time was this other jersey I got from my grandmother, Etax of London. Okay,
Oh, but-
I used to wear that jersey. Waya, kumba, fine. I felt like if I don't wear this jersey, I'm not going to be funny on stage. That's how much I wore that jersey. You know?
You see the thing about the hug from my grandmother. So when you know, an sauce. That
Yes,
thing,
but
like-
when we got married, that
Yes.
jersey just disappeared.
Nyamele.
I don't know what happened to the jersey. After we moved in together, jersey aiyo, maruja ayo, things have just disappeared. All of a sudden, it's just purple, green, pink, orange.
Yeah.
If my wardrobe is
Because
just
you
full of
needed some
color.
light, some freshness in
I
your
feel
life.
like our love language is that amplifying impact. You know, I don't actually change her because that's who we fell in love with. But we can see here, no man, I can definitely put a spring on this thing so that it can do that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for me, that's what tells me that you love him. You know, and him allowing it also because there's other thing. You know, sometimes maybe fashion states. Maybe you wake up and just put the stuff there and disappear into the room.
Yeah, like
And
today,
then
Ben
gently-
Togen, guys. I mean, guys,
First of
Guys,
all, what did you
Ogoma-
think when she said to you, we're wearing pajamas? But it's
no.
pajama, you were like,
Mama
what?
said we're going to a shoot.
Yeah.
Ne?
Oh.
And then she says,
we
there's the
cheat.
clothes there on the thing. Then I'm asking myself, Uti, but what kind of shoot is this? Why am I dressed up so comfortable, so warm?
Fuzzy wuzzy.
Fuzzy wuzzy, what's going on? Then when I got you, it's like, oh, by the way, it's a pajama thing. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I understand. If she didn't tell me, if she told me before,
Yeah.
maybe I would have been doubtful because
Like-
I don't sleep in a pajama. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
yeah.
you know, when I
Yeah.
come back home, it's like
No, I'm
whatever
so
I'm
glad.
wearing is what I want to
Yeah.
sleep in, bro.
yeah. What I'm getting also, it's that one of the friendship for me, it's coming through. It's very like Guti, at the basis of the thing where you're saying you putting in, and you must know your person and observe, is a solid friendship.
Yeah.
And that's when the boats are being rocked.
Yeah.
You're like, no, this one is being hit, and I could probably go off on my own, but I choose not to.
You know what? I think that when you say such a thing, Mome can't do that. Like, she's so loving. You know, Mome taught me about mental health. Like, she made me aware about what mental health is. Because if you can think about the whole of 2023, I was just angry at everything, anybody. Like, I was just on a rampage, you know? And she helped me understand what it means to get healing mentally, spiritually, physically, you know? And, you know, it took me a long time to adjust to it, because the only way guys know how to solve a problem is by bashing and breaking things. And then she's like, no, you don't have to bash and break things more. We can talk about things. You can write things down. You know what I'm saying? You can meditate upon things that don't sit well with you. You understand?
There's and that health, love. I'm here for it.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. So a lot of people know what we went through publicly, and you know. And sometimes when I look back, I'm like, you know what? I could have stayed lost. Mommy could have left me, and I could have been this loose cannon that was just firing at any and everything that I see, because I'm hurt inside. You know, and my wife really kind of helped me to mold myself, to heal. She made me understand with Mo, this is not just a sickness of your heart, it's a sickness of the mind. You have to clear your mind space and think about more positive things. Think about your life in a more victorious way. Don't think about yourself as a loser, because I felt like I was a loser because I'd lost most of everything I'd accumulated. You know what I'm saying? In terms of my work, in terms of friends, in terms of family, in terms of all those things, you know, monetary, whatever. And I felt like my world was just shrinking and shrinking. But then she reminded me that you're not in a small world. Life is long. And guess what? The most important thing that came out of all the discussions is that don't let your family destroy your family. You understand? And don't let what outside influence impact what is happening inside. You know? So I'm just very grateful for the fact that I'm on a process whereby I'm understanding how to feel much more better. Because us men don't know what it is to really have
cry and just talk.
And to cry and to baby, like, look what you made me wear. You understand?
I get that a lot. You know, that Mome's anchored a lot. And for me, I feel like the grassroots stuff was done when she became conscious and interested early. To know that you are not something's wrong with you, but you are unwell, not that you are sick. And because she had done the work to know more than yena. So phase A, like you were saying, you nurture the character and honor it, and you're like, okay, something isn't right more, and I am interested in its health and restoration.
Yes.
So for me, that's the differential with everything that's happened. The full circleness of it, because this thing you cancel about to and then full stop.
Yeah.
That time utowa pila.
Yeah.
But you've made their reality non-existent.
I mean, do you know?
Is that and I'm coming to a point here, because there is something that happened also, because the two ships, right? And then there is how you were impacted, and I guess also the thing you wonder, you know, I mean, up to you whether you want to share what is that, like, how do you feel now that Mongezi honors that anchor, that, you know, sometimes the hole on the rock was the side. Sometimes it's okay? Maybe it's how we're not gonna see them or whatever. But how do you think he paused back when you've been hit? Because you also get hit. But I want him to answer that. Yeah.
Do you know when that happens? What I always try and do is cover things up with humor. You know, it's very difficult to make Mome laugh. Okay?
Really?
It's hard to impress
not
Mome.
not the comedian husband saying the jokes are not funny to their wife.
I'm
Is that
telling
you
you.
putting it on record?
Mome, like, she knows my material, né?
Yeah.
But when I feel that she's in that space, the best thing I can do is be an idiot. Make her smile, make her laugh, or my love language is cooking, I'll prepare something nice for her, or she loves going
You'll
out.
boil.
No, never. I will fry her something nice. I'll take her out. I know Mome really loves us being together in different spaces. We love trying out different food. I mean, I think that in our relationship before we had the kids, we only ate out.
Wow.
Yeah, we never had
because
time
you didn't
to
want
be
microwave eggs and
Yeah, I
you were
didn't
too
want-
busy.
nah,
Yeah.
no, I
When
get
he
it.
met me,
Yeah.
I was already so independent and used to being in my
Yeah.
space and by
Yeah.
myself. So when he came into my life, it was just like now having a companion
Yeah.
who is like, I just,
Yeah.
a friend, and then we got in a relationship. Then I found a partner.
So you're a quality time girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's what he sees. Okay, Ayo sharp. Let me give
her
her
quality
back.
time. Yes.
Yes, let me give her back that which existed before these small strangers
Yes.
entered the scene.
Holiday. That's another thing that is so important for couples and lovers. Take the time out to go on a holiday. Go away. And most people think that because we're living in an Instagram social life, that, I'm too ashamed to go on holiday to Mpumalanga because I'm not posting from the Royale, like Dubai, or whatever. I'm not posting from Mauritius or whatever. Your holiday is holiday.
It's what you afford.
It's what you afford. Get
And
away,
don't do it
bro.
on credit.
Don't just get
I always
away.
say don't go on holiday on
And
credit.
credit
It's
doesn't
like
make sense.
buying groceries from Woolworths on credit. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. You can't live your life that way. So for me, I think that me taking her away, holiday, going for drives. Mome hates driving but loves being driven.
I love long
Passenger
drives.
princess, I love it for you.
She's
girl.
a passenger princess for days. Mome only has driven to Spa and back in her life.
Tear for it. And that's what husbands are for.
Yeah, but sometimes Rakatala, man. Thank God for Uber. But I literally think that the best way for me to show her or to fill that gap that if there's water in her ship, the best way is to take her away. She loves being outdoors. She loves being in the nature. That's why when I was going through that whole crisis, she stood up and said, our family needs to move to a place of solace. Our family needs to move to a place whereby the environment allows for healing. That's when we moved to the farm, and we stayed in a beautiful farm and we were there for 5 years and we enjoyed ourselves there. I got to think, I got to meditate, I got to be on my own, I got to be away from Joburg traffic, I got to be away from gigs, and I just really started rebuilding myself.
Because I told them that it's best to save your life first, and then there will come a time of recovery. I don't think when you go through a storm, it's God saying it's over. No, this now is God using his vessel and saying, my child, you are going to go through this. So you need to set up your mind, tell your mind that I may not be part of that world, but I'm fixing myself. If I may go away for 4 to 5 years, it's okay because I'm working on my healing. I'm working, I remember telling him that this thing will take you at least 5 years. You're going to deal with the legalities. You're going to lose yourself. You're going to lose all these things. That's why even when he was losing himself last year, the whole world is...
Like, a magnifying class.
Yeah,
That time
and
when
now
you've been ready, you've been
everybody's on my DM. Everyone is throwing. Some people
Yeah.
even shocked me of the things they were saying about him, and I was like, in my heart, I'm like, dear God, it's time for the world to understand what mental health is. And if my family is the vessel, you can use us, because I know that with your storms, there will be a chance of healing, because the point is to go through the storm as hard as it is for you to even be able to prove that God is God, know, and you come out of it. Now it's the chance to recover. So if you are not going to be able to come out of this mess, then it's over.
And you've allowed the storm to finish you instead of being a ship in a storm, which is get water and let the water
drown you.
You understand? With your thing.
Yeah.
So I want to understand that every single day for you like that, or did it ever get to you that maybe this is it.
No,
You
I'm
never
just
wavered.
one person. I don't give up in life.
Yeah.
I'm one person. I don't. My mom, I was raised by a woman who says, I'm not a dying type. She calls herself that. Like, I'm not a dying type.
But she'll stop calling me Mr. Bean.
She's like 73 years old,
Yeah.
you know.
Mr. Bean.
But I don't, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes, and also when you have children.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
you have children, there's no storm bigger.
Yeah.
The biggest storm is you losing your life.
Yeah.
Because you have to
Yeah.
wonder who's gonna take care of them the way you do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And during that storm, for me, I had my I had found my ways of dealing with my pain,
Yeah.
right? And I had found my peace. You understand? And that peace, because it's within me, it centered me so much mentally that even the noise that was outside, I was never shaken to even tweet or post or fight back or
because people are mean on social media,
you know, or
honestly speaking,
say
South Africans are mean.
or say things back to my husband or whatever.
No, the meanest on
you
social
know?
media.
And why? Because I'm centered. I have peace.
And it's self-constructed, self-sustained kind of peace.
That no one taught me how to do it. I seeked for it myself. I gave myself I let go of everything. You know, like living in the wilderness for 4 to 5 years and not doing anything. When I say anything, I mean I probably went to Menlyn Mall once a year.
Yeah.
And I probably went to another mall the following year. So moving away from your what is called a normal life, easy access of food, easy access of movement. We did not have that, all of us as a family, you know, and our children, they did not have that for those years. And the one thing I can assure you is that the healing was felt and the healing was given time, you know, to happen.
It was not instantaneous.
It was not. And it was not going to happen if we stayed at our house in Bakru and not did anything. Because we were still in the same environment. How do you expect to heal in the same space that you
got hurt? Yeah.
And be around the same people?
That hurt you.
It's not possible, you know? And moving away and being with people that don't even know us, and we had literally not much to do, but
look at each other,
walk, do all those
ride
outdoor
horses,
things,
plant
raise
vegetables.
our horses, plant vegetables, all that stuff, but not even a sound of a car, not even a sound of a song. I haven't been in a club for 5 years now. Like, not even to go to, like, I would have people in Joburg buy us, say, I got tickets, we must go to this thing, because people felt like they want to try and be there for us. They felt like we are being isolated so much.
So they want to, like, sort of like surround
us with them. But for us, it was not about being around people. It was making time to be around people when we are okay.
Yeah. So the nucleus took priority.
Yes. Which is the family. That is the most important thing. Now all I can say is this, is that South Africa just needs a little bit more love. South Africans need love. Like, you know, if you can just look at how much of an angry, hurt, bitter nation we are, you will see on social media comments that us is by, you know, but sometimes, yes, we are a quirky, funny country, but then at the same time, we kind of have to learn where to draw the line. Where do we draw the line? You know what I'm saying? How I mean, for the fact that we as South Africans can go onto American Twitter and make fun of a person who has Tourette's in the States, she must come back to Africa. I mean, this person's got Tourette's, guys. How can you make fun of this? And it's like, you know, it's like sometimes, yes, we have to look at the humorous side of life, but be considerate towards the next person's feelings. So, if you are in that person's shoes, a lot of people can't be empathetic, but I'm just saying, if when about most Twitter warriors cannot handle what they serve out to the people who are in public.
Now they don't phase me because whom not to type, but to actually have a lived out experience. For me, that's what I'm saying. Already. They will vilify that which they aspire to. So I don't want at any point you guys ever wondering about how much of an anchor you are for people who want solid relationships. You know, but it's like, born or okay, it's not all glory or anything, but yeah, they wanted to, you know, they almost want to vilify it because they don't have it.
Yes.
Not because it's not something to have. And that's why for me, your story was important in terms of discussing intimacy, because intimacy for me is raw closeness. If we talk there's the physical and there's the bare nakedness of your insides.
Yes.
And I get the sense from looking, you guys have that. And I want more couples to enter that discussion. Because as long as
it doesn't help.
There's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
You understand? And I guess in closing, I want to just ask one question of you. I think you can answer it each or together, but how are you now, given everything, being that which you needed when it was like a storm in your lives? How are you being, Mongezi? I know you probably needed brothers, you probably needed whatever you needed. How are you being that now? And equally so to you, Mom.
For me, after all the storms, right, and going through them, I find myself looking at myself through the mirror, right, and saying to myself, God, thank you for walking with me through the storm. And with that humor again, I want to say thank you for allowing that storm to come my way. Because if it didn't come my way, I would not have known this. Number one, I didn't know that South Africa would really care about me that much. Number one.
Because we will feel your life. Why you're stressed?
Shocked. I was very shocked, you know. And for that, I love my country. I love my people, you know. And I will always respect them again, you know. And I will always tell my truth and be honest, you know. And as I said, if they feel like I'm becoming something else, please remind me, DM me and tell me that I'm not being real, you know, upon all the great messages that I always get, you know, you must always tell me, Mome, now you are turning, you know, the other way. And another thing for me, it's the storms made me value what I have more than I actually thought I valued. The storms made me see what family is and what happens when there's a destruction in the family and what a destruction can take away from the family, you know, and just the importance of raising a healthy family, you know, and also seeing my strengths. And it also kind of like helped me recognize my strengths that, you know what, I was able to protect my children. I was able to actually protect my family during a time when my husband was not okay at all, as he was unwell, you know, to relocate a family from a different city to another city, to start a life in a different city, you know, and finding ourselves being in a different city, but not doing much, you know, just being in the wilderness, you know. I don't think in our lives, even before we had the kids, we could have paused our lives for anything like that for so many years. I feel like as
we would have kept on
we
going.
would have kept on going and we would not have time to actually learn certain things, especially about family, you know, because through those storms, you know, I learned that actually there were times when I was partying almost every day of my life. There were times I was just traveling, like I was just everywhere. And I realized this because I'm being greeted by someone who remembers us as friends back then, but I don't remember them. And that really got me. And I said, what life was I living that I don't even remember people who were my
acquaintances,
friends?
a lot of
you
acquaintances.
Know? And I know I had a lot of acquaintances, but we had no genuine conversations to reach that genuine, you know, type of friendship for me not to forget them, you know?
So you're being more aware.
Yeah. So now my
Yeah.
awareness as well,
Yeah.
it's out there. Now I'm aware, you know, and which is something that I would not have had these 4 years of my life to pause and spend 4 years of my life just focusing on this healing, you know, and cutting out
And self-discovery.
and
baby.
self-discovery, self-growth, you know, and for me it was like when I said I actually can feel that I'm healed. That's when I realized that wow, after so many years. Then I asked myself, what was I doing? I gave my mind peace. I gave my heart peace. I gave my soul peace. I gave my body rest. And I did that for 4 years.
And here we are. We're back, baby.
And here I am
things that money
feeling
couldn't buy.
healthier than ever. I missed out on the 4 years checks, but I feel greater than that. You know, I feel healthier, you know, and more healthier that even our children were saved from, for them being in a farm school, no one was there teasing them about their parents. The kids at school don't even care or know who we are, you know. It gave them that opportunity of not being scolded by other kids at school or called names or whatever,
Or
you
being
know,
Googled
or
and
being
things,
Googled or whatsoever, you know, and I'm grateful for that. You
Awesome.
know, it's like
That is it.
it was a blessing in disguise, I can say. It looks like the end of the world when it starts, but when you tell
Hindsight,
yourself, you know, that
hindsight is 2020. Yeah. Mongezi.
I fully agree with what you're saying.
So how are you? You are being how are you being the person you needed? I guess is that you saying you are being more aware?
How am I being the person I needed?
Yes. Now
I'm easier on myself. I was very, very hard on myself.
Mm.
I was very unforgiving towards myself. Like I blame myself for everything. And I took responsibility, like, because you know one thing I learned in school, but the most difficult thing to do is to eradicate blame. Because when you eradicate blame, you are the only one who is responsible for everything that happens in your life.
Yeah.
So I eradicated blame and I started looking at myself and introspecting. And what I could tell myself is that, life is long.
Yeah.
Life is long.
Yeah.
And for every child that you have, you are guaranteed another lifetime.
I get.
So I've got 4 lifetimes to live with my kids.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
So there's no way I can allow the outside world to end me and to end my family. It's impossible. The only person who has the choice and the right over that,
Yeah.
Amen.
No, and on those words, you know, I'm going to close it because I guess I've taken out so much, and I think to pick it up from what you're saying, South Africa just needs more love.
Yeah, it needs love, bro.
And for me, it was South Africa needs more love.
Thank you.
love.
We should come back with our reality show, baby.
And then, and then the
Without
last
the
thing
kids.
is that of, you know, leadership exists so much in what we think leadership is, it's not. And how, you know, in the absence of your family structure, of Mongezi, you know, going through the phase, and you were like, Bon, I am going to take up my space in the throne and I'm going to navigate these seas that I don't know and make sure that a ship remains at the end.
Mom is what we call a virtuous wife.
I can only admire that because you don't know you can do that until it's here. So but until you are location exactly there, you can't have a comment on it. And I can only respect and I think commend you guys to say Mangin Bega and Black Love and the principles of it and the importance. I put Black Lives Matter. Mina, Black families matter.
Yes.
You understand? So
very much.
Kubegani.
Siyabonga.
Yeah, somewhere the sidelines there we are liking and we are laughing and you know, in our own ways. We want it and we want to emulate it and we want to carry on through the storms. Because setting the storm their fate. So thank you very much for honoring me. This was a lovely
Thank you for
chat.
having us. I think I'm gonna sleep on this bed.
I know it's time.
Bye-bye.
Not everyone can say they were in bed with more love. You want to be me, don't you? That's all we have
It's
time
been so
for
nice,
on
guys.
tonight's
I'll just-
episode. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
And it feels so